Hi, and welcome to another episode of Dungeons and Degrees. My name's Adrian,
And I'm Alex.
and today we have Tomas Gimenez Rioja. We're going to talk about Mongolia, the city of Marvel.
Mongolia or Magnolia,
It's
Adrian?
Magnolia. Did I say I'm hungry. I'm sorry.
Do you want to start that over?
yes. I'll start it
Yeah,
over.
they were about to say
Magnolia.
my name as well at the beginning. Sorry.
No, you're good.
No.
You're good. All right. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Dungeons and Degrees. My name's Adrian.
And I'm Alex.
And today we have Tomas Gimenez Rioja. And we're talking about Magnolia, City of Marvels. Hi, Tomas. Tomas, how are you doing?
Hello. Well, hello everyone. I am doing fantastic over here. Thank you for having me.
Where's over here? Where are you calling from?
I am calling actually from Argentina, so pretty much on the south from where you are, the other corner from the world.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. And what's it called? Before we started, we were talking about how we got into contact because having such a big project with many moving pieces, which includes different writers, artists, and editors, like what does it take, and how do you meet those types of people? Because currently, I'm trying to my best to work on like single projects, and it's just like, how do I get other people incorporated? So I was asking Tomas, how did you meet all these people?
Do you want me to talk more about all that?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take advantage of this opportunity to help promote a bit the convention in which I managed to meet at least most of these people. That is Big Bad Con, a convention that is held usually around September and October on San Francisco. They have this POC program in which they got me there from the other corner from the world, and it is only because of that that I managed to meet a lot of magnificent people that now are my friends, and I could just go and say, hey, would you like to work with me on this? And the moment I told them about my idea for the setting, they were all in. So I'm super pumped to have them on board and create this great setting of Magnolia.
Yeah, it's quite. Go ahead.
No, it looks absolutely fantastic. Do you mind talking about like the setting and maybe a little bit of your inspiration in Magnolia?
Okay, well, so Magnolia, as it says from the very start, it is a setting of art, punk, and rebellion. And we wanted to state that very upfront because that's what the whole setting is going to revolve around. It is based on many different games, books, series, but mainly my main source of inspiration was games like Hi-Fi Rush or Splatoon, that are games that involve a lot of the punk and graffiti art. And then there are many other sort of things that all around history of our world and media itself, you will find things about rebellion and the strength behind all that. Even in cyberpunk, you will find the power behind the punk itself and how it can lead to sort of liberate the world and create a better space, or at least what they think is a better space.
What are we rebelling against?
Oh, that's a great thing to ask. Yeah, in Magnolia, the city of marvels, we have what is called a plutocracy. A plutocracy is a sort of way in which politics are structured, that the nobles have all the power because they can control the rules in there. They are the ones that state what is legal, what is illegal, and Magnolia being the city of marvels and arts specifically, um, the main thing in there is that everything is artsy. Art is some sort of currency in there as well. When you are part of Magnolia, you may become part of the what is called licensed artist, which is a person that graduates from the University of Magnolia that is allowed, only them are allowed to sort of make the city their canvas. And that's why the city is so colorful, so brilliant, and filled with murals and artistic festivities, dances, music. Art is appears in all sorts of different ways, even in food, so and fashion. And nobles dress in very extravagant manners, stating that art can only be in one sort of way, which is very conservationalist. That's what the punks in the city call them, at least. They are the conservationists, the ones that want the art to stay the same and never change, because that's the way that they sort of control everyone in there. Whereas on the suburbs, we have these gangs that are starting to form that want to liberate the city and show what art can be really about. They brought this new sort of art that is graffiti art, as well as many other sort of punk ways to create art. And this is done as well through all sorts of different ways to create art, on music, on fashion, on the graphical art, and they show the world their art in order to rebel against these nobles and try to create something different from the status quo, so it is not maintained always on the same manner.
Like I can see that. I mean, the parallels of like what is supposed to be within our own kind of like art world. Like, oh, this picture is so beautiful. It costs X amount of dollars, and only like the rich can buy this. But it's like that's nice, but like I don't think it deserves that much. But because of the status of individuals who have the money, they're like, this is good, and that's what I say. Like it's I can see it. I see it already.
Yeah, there is a lot of abuse of control in there as well.
Hmm.
Art is only valued by the nobles, and as you said, there is art in the smallest, weirdest things as well. Even some graffiti art or some small mural on the wall can become like something that people want to see, and as
Hmm.
well, it as in many of the different moments in history, art is a way to rebel. Even in my country here in Argentina, we went through a dictatorship, and one of the ways that people rebelled against this dictatorship was through art, through music that have this sort of different connotations that talked about the dictatorship going on at the moment, or graphical art, even in books as well. So that's something that I wanted to just pour into this project and show that there is a lot of ways in which people can rebel and make the world right.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so in this, are we all playing as the rebels or the punks, or is it like within the group some rebels and some nobles, or what? So what does the player character look like? The dynamics.
Okay, that's a great question to just sort of bring up the fact that the setting of Magnolia is not a game itself. It's a setting and it's system agnostic. So you can play it in any game of your choice, be it D&D, Pathfinder, City of Mist, a Monster of the Week. I have seen people that are looking forward to play it in, as well as Blades in the Dark. So the interesting part is that there are many factions within the nobles, within the gangsters, within the people in the middle as well. And everyone has their own objectives, and we want to put it in there so that the GM can sort of create these little rivalries within each of them. The players can decide to play as nobles, they can decide to play as the gangsters, because most people are going to lean towards that. We are sure of that. But still, if you want to solve a mystery because you're playing some sort of gumshoe-like game, um, you can be part of the guards in there who are called the Red Plumes and work for the noblemen. And if you try to unravel a mystery in there in the city of Magnolia, you may start to find out that there are lots of things going on in the background, even within the same nobles that are fighting behind the scenes for power.
how do the factions work? Like, like, because it seems like when I've seen factions, like they hit up on certain pieces of industry or pieces of art. Is that what Magnolia is going to be? Where it's like, oh, all the art, all the drawers, all the painters, all the musicians, like, or is it ideals?
No, it is more like ideals. We do want to separate the art into the different ways that you can create it. There is a bit
Mm-hmm.
of that, of course, because there can be some rivalry within that. But
Yeah.
what we wanted to center on is that all nobles have this sort of Game of Thrones like vibe. They have like houses of families in which
Yeah.
everyone has their own power in some way over the city. Maybe there are some nobles that take over the guards in there, while some other group may control what is imported or exported from the city, because it is a very touristic and it creates a lot of different resources as well for the rest of the country. There is the Merchants Guild as well, that is controlled by another noble. So these sort of different connection between them all are
Mm.
going to create a lot of spying within each of them, a network of people working with these folk that will take control or fight against each other. Whereas we have the gangsters as well that have their own
Mm-hmm.
things going on. There are the purple dragons that are the first and foremost um, rebelling against these nobles, and then there are other groups like for example, the Shade Serpents that are more of an extremist group that is looking for the same thing as the purple dragons. They are going to rebel against nobles, but they do it in a more extreme methodology. Maybe they go ahead and kill hundreds of nobles in a party. And yeah, the Purple Dragons are pretty much against that. They want to try to uh, rebel in a more pacifistic way, if possible,
Mm-hmm.
through art and not through violence. And you, as a GM, can sort of create your own story by reading through the book, that is going to be very artsy, by the way. And yeah, the thing that we want to put up front is that this book is done so it can give you thousands of ideas just by reading each page. We focus on quality over quantity, and on every single page where we promise to have at least two plot hooks or adventure hooks that you can get there and create a whole campaign from that single sentence. And that's per
Oh
page.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm obsessed. I'm looking at the preview for it right now, and I like the way that it is structured just enough for somebody, even like a new DM, to look at this and like, okay, I could have this city and I have these different levels of factions. I have basically 3 levels, right? So like nobles who are purists, and then probably some sort of middle group that are neutral, and then like the gang members, which are here to not destroy, but disrupt the way that the city is looking at art. Um, but even with that, you could have so many different ways of playing that. And it does sound like it's something that like you could engage your players in while you're like maybe doing a side quest, or maybe this is, this is your summer vacation break, or this is like, this could even be your whole city, your whole setting for your
Campaign.
campaign. Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely. We took a lot of inspiration from Waterdeep Dragon Heist, that is a whole campaign centered around the city of Waterdeep. And we wanted to sort of bring you this little setting, because it's just a city, even though it's a touristic city, the capital city of the continent, or wherever you want to place this, because it is easy to just import into your own setting. We went with that in mind as well. And even if you're playing a game like D&D that is a lot around battling monsters and stuff like that, we have brought this to several people in order to create like actual plays, and some of them have sort of created a story that is centered around maybe one of the nobles finding something obscure in their basement, and this sort of thing is like a demon that works in ink from paintings and stuff like that, and starts to take over the military of the city, and putting their demons everywhere, controlling the art and the colors of the world. And you as adventurers need to fight over that and try to rebel, while at the same time try to do politics in order to have the nobles work with you, and the gangsters that are pretty much against them and everything going on work with you as well, because you want the most amount of people working with you at the same time to sort of fight this apocalyptic event going on.
Yeah. How did you find, like, in your own brain, how did you find the balance between, like, the medieval feeling and then, like, what sounds like cyberpunk? Like, how did you think about those two things, like, blending together?
Well, to be honest, I just had that idea. It just came into my mind, the concept of having this sort of very punk theme around a medieval fantasy, because my players are very into D&D from my home group, and I wanted to sort of create that theme into a campaign. I created Magnolia for my players, and I was during the COVID very bored, extremely bored, so I created a whole setting.
Nice.
And yeah, the moment that I started to pile up more things into a setting, I wanted to to work in a way that it doesn't only work around just battling monsters. I wanted to have that sort of horror if I wanted to bring it, because there is a lighthouse that has spirits within it that you can explore, or a hag living in a cabin within this sort of city that controls paintings and makes all around it work in a very creepy way. So if there is a mural, maybe the mural may be changed during the night or something like that.
It's so spooky.
Exactly. There's a combination between art and magic in this setting that, if you go very poet-like or something like that, you can say that art is, in a way, our way as mundane people to create some sort of magic. Now, if you take that up to 11 in a magic setting, how far can you go with that? And that's what I wanted to give, well, not just me, but the whole team behind it. We have brought a lot of very cool ideas through brainstorming that I'm really pumped to show you all. And there's a lot that have been said about maybe paintings coming to life, or the corruption behind some artists, and maybe the way that they create a mural can sort of create emotions in people that go nearby, creating some sort of mystery for the players to go and look for.
You had this idea since COVID and kind of like built on it and on it and on it. Um, what made you feel like, okay, I want to have more people on this to make sure it's the best it is?
Well, when I started with this idea, I ran the whole game, and I wanted to just build more on it and make sure that I could sell this idea, because I was very proud of it.
Mhm.
And what I noticed is that Magnolia is a touristic city. It brings people from all over the world there, and that's the reason why there is some sort of clash or combination between different cultures. Take inspiration from our world and fantasy worlds as well. There is this sort of thing that maybe you have cuisine from different parts of the world, or the way that art works in maybe Asia or the occidental part of the world may work very differently. And that sort of ways in which the whole art world and things all around are meld, I knew that I couldn't create that on my own. That would be a very narrow way to look into that. Uh,
Okay.
for that very reason, thankfully, I went to Big Bad Con, and having met people, thanks to the POC program from all over the world, I knew that I could recruit people that all have very different ideologies or cultures or ways to bring their own stuff from their own lives into the setting. And that will make it much more unique and a much richer experience or thing to offer people who want to use Magnolia for their games.
How far do these other people, like, what other parts of the world were you able to kind of recruit to this project?
Let me name them, by the way, because they are the stars of the show as well. I've got Kat Kruger from the US, but she's an Asian person. I've got Pampun Solan from the Philippines that is now on Canada. I've got two people on Central America, one of them being from Mexico. And then we have one of the artists is here from Argentina as me. So on South America, and yeah, another person in the US, Scott Bullock. We got the cover artist from Iceland that used to be from Italy, which is from where I took a lot of inspiration from the looks of this city. I don't know if you have seen the movie Luca from Pixar. If you have seen that movie, the whole city looks just like the city from that movie, and that's because it's very artsy, it's very colorful, and I just loved it and wanted to be part of this setting. So yeah, from the
Awesome.
U.S., Central America, South America, Philippines, Asia, all over.
That's great. It's hard actually. For me, the closest thing I got is other Americans that I've seen, but like going to a convention and being able to meet all people from walks of life, it seems like that's probably the best place to go. So I need to go to other conventions like Big Bad Con
I definitely
sometime.
recommend networking through these sorts of conventions. They have been a game changer for me.
Hell yeah. Well, hopefully we'll be able to do that, me and Alex, at Gen Con in a couple of
Yeah.
weeks.
And hopefully I can find you there in the future as well.
Hell yeah. No, of course. We'll be around. Um, what? Oh, it just disappeared. What the hell? That question.
It'll come back, don't worry.
What is your favorite color? No.
I like purple.
I,
What
I like
kind
all
of
the purple.
purple?
Ooh, interesting.
It's not even my favorite color, but
Um, what is your favorite piece of Magnolia?
my favorite piece. Okay, tough question.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore the fact that the game is intended to be a perfect tool for GMs. I know I have been there on the other side, and when I buy products for being a DM or stuff like that, maybe it's very difficult to find what I really need in order to create new stories, or the adventures may not fit with my playstyle. Now, with Magnolia, we give you so many ideas on each page that you will certainly find thousands of different ways to create your own adventures and campaigns. And that's something that I'm very proud of with my team, that we are creating, as I said, these sort of two plot hooks or adventure hooks per page. And each different section is built in a way that we focus on giving you ideas.
Hell yeah. How did you get into this space? Like, what started you along TTRPGs?
Okay, we're going back some years then. Um,
Yeah,
in
just a couple handfuls. I don't know.
Okay, long ago in a galaxy far, far away, um, there was me just going there in the world, and a friend of mine have had seen Stranger Things, and he came up to me and said, "Hey, there's this D&D thing. Would you like to play?" And I was like all in on that, and he was saying, "Okay, but we need someone to run it," and he kept looking at me, not blinking or anything. okay, I'll take the mantle. And I got the DM's guile that got everything in there to start GMing, and I became forever DM. As you do when you get to be the first DM on your group. And I got to run a 6-year campaign. But as for how I got started in the TTRPG space, by running this 6-year campaign, as I said, during the first 2 years, I got to learn a lot of stuff. I wanted to be the best DM for my players. I watched thousands of videos. I read lots of articles. I got as many products as I could in order to learn how to become a better DM. But as you do when you are DM, you always make your mistakes, and I wanted to give that back to the people. So I started my own blogspot. That wasn't that great. I managed to write around 2 articles, but it was great enough for someone in the webpage of Tribality to see my work and say, hey, I want this guy in my team. And he came up to me and said, hey, we'd like to do the same you're doing, but getting paid for it. And of course I said yes. I was very much loving the whole idea behind the TTRPG space, and being paid to do it, it was a no-brainer. I jumped in and started to write a weekly column. After some time, I got to work in a project of them, Seas of Odari, which then meant that I got to work on the sequel to that book, which are both settings for D&D 5e under the Seas of Odari. The first one being a swashbuckling sort of a seafaring setting, and the second one being the same setting but underwater. So it's a very unique setting in the fact that you play entirely underwater. And I managed to create most of the monsters for both books. And I absolutely loved that experience. And by doing that, I started to create my own work. I branched out from just creating D&D content, and I started to create my own content, my own games as well. Starting with Stuck and Wretched, a solo game that sort of gives you these vibes of being stuck at the bottom of a crevasse and gives you the claustrophobic experience and dread-inducing sort of vibes of being in that situation. It's very how do you call it when you are immersive? And yeah, it's a game I'm very proud of. And then I continued working on some other projects doing freelance. Thanks to Big Bad Count for allowing me to connect with some wondrous people as well. I created at the start of this year Gothborg, which is a grim dark sort of setting in a gothic world ruled by a vampire queen, with the looks of Mork Borg. If you have seen that game, then it's that sort of vibe in which it's very chaotic in how it looks, but they brought it to D&D 5e and Pathfinder 2e as well as Mork Borg. So if you're into that sort of sham of liking gothic horror and you want more of it for your game, look no farther than that supplement that has monsters, boss monsters, locations, and a lot of stuff. I just posted it this week after having completed the crowdfunding campaign. So you can find it on my itch page. And well, now I'm going all in for Magnolia, the City of Marvels, bringing a very sort of different experience to the midst.
A little bit brighter, still kind of a different kind of horror, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sensing a trend though of like goth punk. Like, is that you? Are you a goth punk? Are you?
I've never been a goth, but I always have had those sort of vibes within me. I just never went all in on that. Even I have created another card game as well, which just by the name of it, you are going to sort of understand the vibe. The name is What Is It That Lies Beyond the Immenseness of the Dark? A very lengthy name for a game.
Every card has that on the back, right?
You're not going to memorize it, so I put it on the very front of the box. I got it here at hand. And the way that it works is that you and 2 or more people create an urban legend together by going out into the world and pulling out the card game wherever you're located and taking inspiration from your surroundings to answer questions about what this horror is bringing into the world, what powers it has, and how it affects the people within it. And it is a very unique experience and game that for every game I can promise you that is going to bring up a new horror into the world that you can use for your D&D campaigns as well if you like. I have done that in the past. And I have gone to Big Bad Con with this game, and I think I ran it around 6 to 8 times. Every single time I created a very unique and different monster. Maybe because we were in a hotel playing, there were some themes that were similar because we were taking inspiration from the surroundings of the hotel, but there were like monsters that you could only look at their back and sort of kidnapped people to take their own backs and create very weird vibes. Monsters that appear in paintings, which now I'm starting to see a pattern here. But yeah, most of my game for some reason delve into horror in some way or another. It's not intended. I have some light-hearted games as well. I have the one that I created at the start of this year called Uncharted Hearts that is very Animal Crossing or Harvest Moon-like. That is all fit within one page. So if you want something to relax from all the horror, you can delve into that as well.
A nice breath of fresh air,
Yeah.
and then back into the horror.
Exactly. Delve all in into their art, punk, and rebellion.
Animal Crossing.
The way
That's-
you said it reminded me of that Harry Potter thing where it's like, Ron Weasley.
Oh, that's
Jumped
very
in.
old. Yeah, that was pretty
Ah.
yeah.
Not the Potter Puppet Pals.
Yeah.
Throwback.
It's a very niche audience.
Snape. Severus Snape. Yeah.
Dumbledore. I want to know. I need a poll. Immediately. Like, how many people would start singing that if you just started singing it in like the wild? And like, what are their ages? Because I mean, I know if I sang it at school with my kids, they'd be like, I think you've lost your mind.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure just this moment right here where we all did it on time perfectly.
Our generation, at least. If you go to the
Oh my
middle of a
gosh.
convention, how many people are you going to get to do that?
We'll test it at Gen Con, you test it
Yeah.
at Big Bad Con, and we'll come back and put the numbers
Yeah,
together.
okay.
We'll do the data.
Yeah. Data analysis, data entry.
Tomas, is this your full time? Are you just ringing out games left and right, or do you have a day job that you unfortunately have to suffer through?
Well, I'm a software engineer. I completed the whole career behind that, but yeah, I wasn't having that great of a time there. So after I got kicked out of my job because they need to lay off some people, as people in the tech companies do. I decided to go all in on freelance, and this game that I just talked about, the card game, What Is It That Lies Beyond the Immenseness of the Dark, was my first thing that I created while being a full-time freelancer. Now I would like to continue this way, being a full-time freelancer, but the truth is that sometimes it's difficult to find people to work with. So at the moment I'm looking for some shops. If you have some shops out there, for all the people listening to this, that you want to throw to a software engineer or game designer, just drop a message.
All the info is in the bio.
It's all there. Go behind. Go below? I don't know where you go.
Depends where you're listening, okay?
Yeah,
it's
wherever.
usually below. If it's behind, where are you? Are you stuck in the liminal space of the internet? I am so sorry.
I can't wait till the internet is 3D, and then we have to start dealing with the internet in 3D.
I think
Yeah.
that's
There's
going
a
to be
comment.
terrifying.
Yeah. There's a comment that just says, help. Someone finally sees me, help.
It's
Please
Dante.
don't do that if you're not in help. If you don't need help, okay?
Yeah.
We'll get Tomas to do it. The software engineer might help out. Not us.
Absolutely not me.
We just now figured out what was wrong with the mic, and it's been months in the making, okay? We've had that mic since the beginning of this year, and we're finally using it.
I've had this microphone since November.
We almost had it.
November. I'm not giving myself that 2-month credit, right? I've had this microphone since November, and just happened to say, hey, I wonder if it's my computer. And I was playing with the Half-Blood Happy Hour crew and just plugged it in just to see. And it worked perfectly. This whole call, I've maybe had 2 internet issues. Michael is downstairs playing Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the internet is being used. And...
yeah, we're not having any, like, connection or hiccups or anything.
I can see your faces. I can see everybody's faces, which is a very rare occurrence.
That's great progress.
I know what I look like, unfortunately. But yeah.
You're fine.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
So yeah, dear listener, if you would like to support our Patreon so I can get a new laptop, because I'm not allowed to keep using this one because it's not mine.
It's school property.
It's school property.
They don't have to know.
It's okay.
They do now.
I'll just say it's, and then I'll just buzz it.
Redacted.
Redacted. Yeah. We'll be fine. The listeners love hearing the buzzing noises of redaction.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
Nice noise.
We don't have to redact that. It's fine. What are they going to do? Please fire me. Fire me.
Yeah, that's where you're at, I guess. I get it.
I mean, listen, it's too close. We got like 2 weeks until I got to be back on campus. So it's too close to the starting line where they don't want to find a new art teacher. Also, it's selfish summer and I'm amazing. So they don't want to fire me anyways.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's Governor Hot Wheels. He's making my life hard. So.
You're making real quick. I'm sorry, Alex, but I'm gonna go back to the podcast real quick.
Why? Tomas doesn't like.
I can bring some snacks and we can keep here all night. Don't worry.
Yeah. Just bring the snacks. I was gonna ask. You're making so many games. Do you have enough time to play these games, or?
No.
I made one at the beginning of the year, and I'm working on this one that came up, and then I'm doing another one. I'm like, the time.
No, I didn't do everything this year. I got laid out of my job last year, so it's been a year and a half at least.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not. I still don't have time to play. Even when I find time to play, I manage to do something else for some reason. I'm just that. I don't know if I'm a job addict or what. Please help me.
Are you playing your home game still, or are y'all? Have y'all?
The 6-year game finished because I pretty much ran out of ideas. We need to finish it. Now I'm running another game with the same group, but I'm using Pathfinder just to keep things fresh and try something different. Yep, that's some stuff that I've been doing. Well, I have also managed to work for Pathfinder, PISO, so that's another reason why I wanted to try more of the system.
Working for Pathfinder?
I worked on PISO, yeah. Well, not on PISO, but for PISO on the Divine Mysteries book coming out this year by the end of it. I can't talk that much about it. It's about gods, and I managed to create some of those. I can't talk about which ones.
Look at that. Alex is completely stunned.
That's so fun, though. Like, your brain is amazing. Your brain is incredible for, like, the piecing together of things and the creation of very different things. Like, that's absolutely Yeah.
When it doesn't melt down, it does pretty well.
What's
I
that? I don't know what that
completely
means.
understand that. Yeah, the fucking Texas heat is melting my brain
Oh my
consistently.
god. We have a cold front coming through today, tomorrow.
Yay! I
It'll
felt that. I
be
had my jacket on for a second, and then I took it off.
it's
I'm gonna use it for the
89
pockets.
89 degrees Fahrenheit. Um Tonight right now.
Well, I'm in winter.
It's a cold
here.
front. That's true. That's true. The
Yeah,
hemisphere thing. Winter.
I'm on about 2 degrees Celsius right now. So, yeah, I don't know how much that is on Fahrenheit, but that is just 2 degrees above freezing. So, yeah, you do the math.
I think Alex is currently
I
mouth again
am.
doing the math.
It's 35 degrees
That would be
Fahrenheit.
so nice.
I didn't even realize. Okay, so here's where the education system fails. The United States, but primarily Texas. I did not even think that Argentina ever got that cold. Like, it doesn't feel like that feels fake.
It's very
It
wide.
really feels like
So, yeah, the more you go to the south, the colder it is. I'm like in the middle of it.
I know that
It
that
gets
works,
worse.
but like,
I can assure that.
But like in your mind, you're just saying like, oh, anything south of us, we're hot. Then that means everything else is hot, kind of thing.
No. I will point out that I do know how hemispheres work.
I don't know. You just told me you didn't.
No. I just didn't think that it was so far towards the pole, right? So like, I just thought it was okay. So in my mental mind, it's like in line with Africa.
Together, class.
Yeah,
Hey,
no, it's
this
like
is the interaction
yeah.
part of the podcast where you prick out a piece of paper and start drawing.
no. I thought it was in line with Africa. Okay, but
well-
Africa also spans over the equator.
Yeah, so on Africa, so more or less, you know, the city I live on, which is Mar del Plata, is on the same sort of line as South Africa.
Oh, okay.
So more or less,
I can see that. I can see that now.
I can see that. Yes.
yeah, Argentina goes even to the souther than Africa itself. So it gets even more chill here.
Even more chilly.
This
Not
is
chilly.
this is now a geography podcast.
Hey, welcome
For some
to
reason.
Dungeons and Degrees. This is the degrees part.
Oh my god, no, I just pulled okay. I'm so silly. I'm so sorry. Yeah, look, one of the little peninsulas of Antarctica, not that far away, like from here to Antarctica, that's a very far distance, but like
It is.
the very tip of Argentina is not like that feels like a reasonable trip to Antarctica.
I wouldn't want to go there, though.
No, that is my dream. I would love to go to Antarctica, but I love animals. So
See the
like
penguins.
I would love to see the two sets of penguins that live on Antarctica proper. It's fine. I was a penguin keeper for like 3 months.
Oh, yeah?
So I know a stupid amount of penguin information. I got a scar on my finger from getting bit by a penguin.
Wow. The more you know.
All this lore dropping right now. I'm not good at geology.
Or geology. Just put that up there.
But a bit of biology.
A little biology. Zoology?
Zoology, yeah.
Zoology,
No,
Utopia?
Zootopia? You're right.
No.
Oh man. Okay. I just teach
Wow.
art, man. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I
Well-
derailed this.
I came to talk about the perfect thing then.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said it was all. That's all us, and I work for fucking Big Bingo. I guess I don't know.
You do work for Big Bingo.
Yeah, they don't listen to this podcast, but I sat in an airport waiting for my brother for like an hour on the clock because fuck them.
I would too.
He was giving me so much sass today. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, man. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna do all my jobs, and then I'm gonna relax because that's what I deserve on the clock.
Yeah.
It's true. Oh yeah, easy. So Tomas, since you've never played D&D,
I have played D&D. I ran a 6
oh,
campaign.
you ran it. No, that's different.
Like,
You were in
asking if
charge
you're
of
a
it.
player.
Well,
You did not play. Did
Let
you
me
play
tell you, I have played it, but every time I create a character, it dies on the first session. I am doomed that way for some reason.
What do you do? Let's workshop a character for you not to die.
know.
All right, shields. You need shield. You need something that actually has like a spellcaster in a plate armor and shield. You need evasion. You need like 3 or 4 levels into rogue, like something. You gotta do
I
something,
have created
man.
stuff like that, yeah. But well, I like they haven't all died within the first session, but they all died within the campaign.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
I always had to create a new character or find some way out of the campaign for some reason. So yeah, I'm doomed that way.
I can relate.
Or maybe it's
I
just my
feel-
players that want to sort of kill my characters as some sort of revenge from what I do to them. It may be the case. But I have also played with some other people that have nothing to do with my friends. So I don't know.
There's just like some sign on the back that says "Kill my player character."
I can't find it.
What was my? I had a second question. I don't remember. Never mind. Adrian, your turn.
I was thinking like how what's it called, like your characters keep dying. Like I don't know what it is because like I GM a lot. I very rarely do I get to play. I get play one shots with some people every now and then, but like sometimes they get very close to death anyways. I don't know if it's the GM in me. It's like I want this to be a resolute story, so they gotta die. Like this is the closest and fastest.
Maybe it's that.
route. Yeah. And other times it's just like, well, I know you guys are attached, but I've named my guy Jimothy McTavish for the 5th time, so I'm ready to die again. Let's go. I don't know.
Do you
I'm always
think-
open to that.
Do you think if you name the character the same thing, like you become less attached to them as they die?
Yeah, because I used
Yeah.
to like researching names. I used to be into like making sure like it all made sense and made a whole kind of background around them, and then they would die, and I'm like, that hurts. Okay, I give up naming these guys because I keep like this is like the Simpsons cat Snowball
Soldier
1,
number
Snowball
4.
2. Yeah, it is just it's simpler. If they die and oh no, I'm sad for Jimmy McTavish. I've already been through this heartbreak. I'll be fine. That's why I'll never date a Caitlyn. No, I'm just kidding. I'm redacting that one. So like how did you find these jobs? Are you just like going up and jobs specifically relating to TTRPGs? Is there boards? Did you get scouted? Did you like email them like, hey man, look, I'm freaking good at this thing. Like what did you do to get these works? These jobs?
Well, I've got to do that in plenty of ways. For starters, for Seas of Podari and Under the Seas of Podari, I just happened to work for Tribality, and they were the ones who created the setting, so they told me, hey, we'd like to work with this. You are great at creating monsters, so why not create more? And so I did, for 2 books. Then I went to Big Bad Can, and there I happened to get some new jobs. I worked with for a game called Guns Blazing that has done a crowdfunding campaign, and I created some stuff for it. I worked for Paizo, as I had told. I worked for a Mexican company, creating Circus Borg, which is Mork Borg, but with some Doom circus, which hasn't been released yet. But then having contact with some people, and the fact that I lost my shop and I really needed to do something to pay the rent made me have lots of mental breakdowns, but at the same time ideas.
Relatable content.
And these ideas turned up to become content and, well, not content, but products. I don't like calling it content. Products
Yeah.
and games that I created and recruited people. This Magnolia project is the first one that I'm leading with like a big team, and I'm very proud of that because they all decided to work for this crazy dude.
Yeah.
And they put their faith in me in this, and I hope I do a great job at it. But knowing that I have studied to become a software engineer, and engineers do have some sort of leadership within them, I have some techniques, I have some tactics that I can use in order to have everything flowing greatly forward and managing to
Hmm.
accomplish the things in time. So I hope I can give you the best product possible. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. It sounds like you started from like applying and working within these kind of spheres, and then it just the things also like losing your job kind of puts you a fire under your ass, so you got to find something.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that sounds amazing. I think if someone were interested in pursuing this thing, they have to have already kind of have a hand in creating something already on their own to kind of like show off, right?
There are many ways to get started with this. Now,
Yeah.
what I would recommend, having just done a bit of the process behind it, is firstly try to create some content with whichever game you are used to. If you play a lot of D&D, go in there, download some products from the DM's Guild or Drive Through RPG, and create something unique. Something, it doesn't have to be unique, but something yours that feels yours and that you're proud of, that you want to show to the world. Then contact people around the internet. Networking is so damn important. So go around, shout it out as much as you can, and contact people to sort of play test your game, to talk about it, maybe review it. Or it can be an adventure, it can be a setting, it can be a series of monsters, whatever you have there. And once you start to get some traction, you can go to conventions, which are very important. Me being from Argentina, I have a more difficult time to get into contact with all these people because I'm
Hmm.
on the other corner of the world, and it's extremely expensive to travel to the outside. So yeah, if you are in the US or Europe or those places where lots of these events or conventions are held, try to go in there and talk with as many people as you can. People that are within your same level of knowledge or the stuff they have done, and talk to the people that have done more stuff than you as well. Try to go in there and pitch your stuff, and something will come your way if you keep being perseverant.
Hell yeah.
Keep bothering people is what I'm hearing.
A bit of that and being you, and but yeah, I guess, and being thankful to people. If you go in there and cheer people up and talk about all the great things that other people have done, they are going
Hmm.
to come back and talk greatly about your stuff as well if they find it good. So I always try to be as positive as I can with all the people, and I'm very cheerful, as you may see. And that's
Yeah, yeah.
why I try. I'm not saying I win people over that way, but I people, I guess they like me for being that way,
Yeah.
and the products I make as well.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's the way I was able to connect with you. That somebody was like, "Hey, this creator has time today to talk about X, Y, this project. You can have them on if you have time." I'm like,
Yeah,
hell yeah. And that's
Magnolia,
only
City of
because
Marvels.
Ren is willing to talk to me and talk about you. Like because we have connected through Ren, we are now connected together in this way as well.
Exactly. If you recommend people, people are going to recommend you back. And that's how
Yeah.
this whole place in the TTRPG space works. It's a very niche space, so you need to be
Hmm.
in constant communication, recommending people, being the showing that you are someone that people will like to have by their side, and you're going to have people want to be with you and create stuff.
Yes, that is the goal.
Hmm.
I'm like currently myself. There's so many ideas. I have them like half written down because there's so much going on in life, and then I'm just like,
I hear you.
when do I like? How do I show this off? It's not ready. But to be honest, like I need to put as much as I can and great effort and show off, and then like if people have critiques, take it.
Finished
Don't be
is better
afraid of
than
that.
perfect.
Yes,
You need to do
exactly.
that.
Otherwise, if you show them nothing, what are they gonna say your merits are? You're
Yeah,
like,
people
what can they say?
will not recruit you if you go in there and say, "Hey, I want to work with you," and they ask you, "Okay, but what have you worked on?" And you have nothing to show because nothing is finished. So finish something to show it to people. Even if you are not the proudest of, you will have time in the future to create stuff you're truly proud of.
Yeah, no. It's literally what I'm like in the middle of a game jam, and I've had some ideas, and I'm like, I haven't had time to write it all down, and it's like, what, we got a couple more, like 2 weeks left. Yeah, exactly 2 weeks
Well,
left in this month.
my
So like I have it. I just gotta work on it. I just gotta write everything down, and I gotta show it.
my first game I created it on a game jam. This Stuck and Wretched game that I told you about. And even before that, I created video games for global game jams as well. So game jams are a great way to get started because they just put you that pressure to finish something in a short time. And then if it's some sort of demo or short thing that you created, you can expand on it and you can make it better. Maybe make a rework.
Yeah, this is exactly what I'm trying to. I'm hoping to make by the end of this week. Like to me, my deadline's the end of this week because then I have like
You'll make it.
it's so much. There's so much. Also, I got my brother back in town. He can help me out at the house. So everything's gonna come up, Adrian. Hopefully. um, yeah. I don't. I listen. Talking with you is giving me so much inspiration to create. Like I to be honest, I want to end everything now, but I know I'm not. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna keep talking with you, but like,
Hey, we can meet some other
it
time.
yeah, of course. Listen, of course, I would love to have you on talk about like you're so inspired by your projects. I wouldn't. I would love to talk more about the next one and the next one and the next one.
I'll talk to you when I manage to get finished with Magnolia and get started with something new. I have plenty of ideas for the future. It's not this the last one I will work on. I just first need to find a shop to pay the rent, and hopefully Magnolia does well enough so I can keep going with this and hopefully make it full time again. So I don't need to worry that much about knowing if I can pay my kitty's food. I don't care about my food, but I need to make sure that kitty is well fed.
I completely understand.
What's your cat's name?
Chaos. Chaos.
Cows?
Yeah.
Oh, chaos. Okay. I was like, cows?
No, it's
Moo cow? No, chaos. I love chaos.
Yeah. I waited a bit to get to know him before I named him. So, yeah, that's his personality.
I feel like that was damning of you. I really do feel like you did that to yourself.
I
The
really
chaos.
did, yeah. I really did. I do love the little rascal, though.
I mean, we're dog people up here, but you know.
I also am a bit of a dog person. I lived my whole life with dogs, and it's been my first time with a cat. I love them both. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. I've lived with a lot of pets, and I'm just like, I'm not a cat person, but if you hand me the cat, I'm like,
I
don't-
can't say no.
I'm here. I'm here. Whatever. I'm still a dog person. I promise.
I'm allergic to them, and like find me like nuzzling my face into them, just like swollen eyed and like drippy nose, and I'm like, I love this so much.
All right. Any other questions, Alex?
No, thank you, Tomas. This was amazing, and like Adrian was saying, like you are inspiring. Like I have some ideas, and then I got to go finish a couple of projects because you told me to finish my projects before I go on to the next project. So find me sliding in to your DMs of being like, hey, what should I do next?
You come ahead. I have no trouble with that. You're both great people, and I love to have you nearby and get to see what you create as well.
Hell yeah.
Because that's how this space works. We all have our unique ideas.
Hell yeah. Look, you cry. Are you gonna cry?
I'm not gonna cry. I might cry a little bit.
Yes, but show us a DM word again. I feed off people's tears.
I've been off of my medication, so I've been reading a lot of One Piece manga, and I've been crying so much.
Haven't got into One Piece because it's too damn intimidating, the number, but I have heard incredible things about it.
Truly, like I caught up with the anime. I'm catching up with the manga. I'm just consumed. I'm consumed by it now. All right. Where can they find you, Tomas?
Okay, well, you can find me on pretty much on all social media, because since Twitter stopped being Twitter, everyone has gone into all social medias, and so have I. And you can find me everyone with the same handle, which is T Gimenez, with G at the start and Z at the end, and the letter R, GM. So T Gimenez RGM. Can be a bit difficult. I don't know if you can put it somewhere on there.
It is linked in whatever thing is linked wherever you're watching this.
Embodiment of
or
bio.
If you search for Tomas Gimenez Rioja, I have done the work, and I'm there on Google. So yeah, you can find me.
Hell yeah!
It's still weird to see that, but yeah.
You can straight up Google his name, and it's there.
Yeah, if you manage to spell it correctly.
Yeah, I know how to spell it now. I just having trouble with the tongue trying to say the right thing.
I wasn't saying it for you. Don't you worry.
But it felt like it.
I'm just used to it by now. That's why.
Gotcha.
No, don't ever. Just keep yelling at us.
Yeah, it's fine. You can yell at us if you want. I'm fine with it. I'm going to cry. Let's go.
Yeah,
then Tomas just gets stronger. Just gets stronger. Every tear you drop.
Every breath you take. No, just kidding.
Tomas gets a little bit stronger. It was intimidating. Oh, it's my turn. Hey, yes. Thank you, dear listener, for joining us on another episode of Dungeons and Degrees. You can find us on all social medias. Our DMs are now open on the Twitter. Did not know that was a thing you needed to do, so I apologize. I'll take the blame.
You. Well, no, it's not your fault, because
I'll take the hit.
I didn't know that was an option, that it was off, because I went back. Ren told me, and it was like, oh no, both of them are off. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, they're all off.
I asked for that.
It's so sorry. We're so sorry. So if you've ever tried to reach us via Twitter, I apologize. Let me know. You can slide on the DMs now, and I'll send you a little I'm sorry card. Boop. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try, but if you do it, I'll do it. Social medias, you can find us at Dungeon and Degrees with the S at the end. You can find us on Patreon. Patreon's probably gonna get kicked up because, like I said, I need a new laptop. It's fine. And then we're gonna be at Gen Con, so come say hi.
Currently, no. This one will come out on the 27th. Okay. Next episode will be in Gen Con.
Next episode we will be at Gen Con. Okay.
Well, next episode, yeah. When we release it, we'll be at.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So if you're listening to this episode, next week we'll be at Gen Con. Say hi. Slide in those DMs. They're open.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. My name's Adrian.
And I'm Alex.
And my name is Tomas Gimenez Rioja.
Go have some fun. Thank you.